I'm here to share to you the research proposal outlines, format, and the process of validation and reliability testing of instruments. This is the first topic of this presentation, and it is all about the parts of an action research proposal. This is the outline of the proposal for an action research. These are the 8 parts. The first part is the context and rationale. Part 2 is the action research questions. Then the proposed innovation, intervention, and strategy. Next is the action research methods. These are the 4 subparts of the action research methods. First subpart is the participants and or other sources of data and information. Secondly, the data gathering methods. Next, the ethical issues and the data analysis plan. Part 5 is the action research work plan and timeline. Then, cost estimates. Part 7 is the plan for dissemination and utilization. Lastly, we have the references. Next part of this presentation is about the parts of the basic research proposal. As shown is the outline of all its parts. Part 1 is the introduction and rationale. Part 2, the literature review. Next is the research questions. Part 4 is the scope and limitations. Followed by the research methodology. It has 4 subparts. Namely, sampling, data collection, ethical issues, and plan for data analysis. The part 6 is the timetable and Gantt chart. The sample shown is a timetable. Next, we have the cost estimates, plans for dissemination, and references. That's all about the parts of the basic research proposal. This is the outline. And next, the part of this presentation focuses on the format and structure of the title page. Firstly, let's talk about the spacing between the 3 parts of the title page. The spacing is 5 double spaces. This is the first rule. This is the illustration on where to apply the 5 spaces or 5 double spaces. As a guide, consider this video. It shows the process of providing 5 spaces among the parts or the 3 main parts of the title page. The line spacing is double. The line of text in this part is double spaced. The same with the rest. This is how you are going to check the line spacing. Focus on the video guide. These are simple steps. Line spacing, and check it out if it is double. Coming up is the figure, which shows the position of the text in inverted pyramid. This is the illustration to this rule. These are samples of the titles. Sample 1 is a 3-line title, followed by sample 2, 2-line title, and the last is a single line title, which considers the inverted pyramid format. This is the rule for capitalization in the title page. Do not capitalize all the text in the title page. Find out here the parts that are in uppercase or capital letters. This is the title with a coined word, which is not in capital letters for emphasis. The name of the proponent, the BERF. These are the parts of the title page which needs to be in uppercase letter. We are utilizing Arial 11. Font Arial, font size is 11. Check the font and the font size this way. The text in the title page shall be on center alignment. This video serves as your guide in aligning the text. Check it out for the alignment. Left plus left, center plus right, or align right, and justify. But we are to choose center alignment. The page number starts with 0. The title page is page 0. This is the video guide to remove the page number. Because as a rule, the first page or the title page has no page number. So this is the process. Try to click Design, different first page. This is it. The page number or page 0 has been removed. The rest of the pages or the page number is still visible. 1.5 inches margin shall be used on the left side. Use 1 inch for the remaining sides. This is how you're going to set up the margins using inches as well as centimeters. The first video guide is all about, as shown, is all about inches. Coming up is an example of how you're going to set up the margins when your measurement or when the systems of measurement in your laptop is in English and in centimeters. This time we have the centimeters. So this is the step. So inches, or 1 inch, is now 2.5, and for 1.5 it is 3.81 centimeters. This is to be applied to the whole document. Okay, that's the process. Avoid using all capital letters for the text used in the title page. Use 5 spaces between parts, and do not include your school and even the running head. So as shown, these are the common errors that I stated a while ago, and you're not to include this. You're not to apply this in your proposal. Now, let us proceed to the format and structure of the whole proposal. These are the subtopics included in this presentation. From pagination to appendices. It includes also alignments, indentions, headings, and the like. First, we have pagination. Pagination is the same with that in the title page. It is in the upper right corner, and the title page is page 0. This is the technical description as shown on how you're going to format the title page. Use justify alignment to most of the parts of the document or proposal. This is your guide to align using justify alignment. Okay, that's it. These are the parts of the proposal that do not apply the justify alignment. Instead, they shall be left aligned. And this is your guide for considering left alignment. In this case, center alignment shall be used. For the timeline and duration, as well as the unit used for the materials. These are the parts of the table which needs right alignment to be read easily. The unit cost and the total cost. Indention of the contents of the table is encouraged. Use this guide. These are the texts that need to be italicized. The planning, implementation, and dissemination in this table. This is how you're going to do it. According to APA, these are the 5 levels of headings. Rule for level 1 headings. In the proposal, these are the level 1 headings. Action research questions, and this text being highlighted. For level 2 headings, consider these guidelines. This text being highlighted are level 2 headings, data gathering methods, and the rest. Ethical issues, data analysis plan. Rule for level 3 headings. Take a look at these examples of level 3 headings. Level 4 headings shall conform to this guideline. These are the examples of level 4 headings. The rule for level 5 headings. Usually, level 5 headings are applicable in this part of the proposal. The stages of the implementation of the intervention. Consider 1.5 margins on the left and 1.0 or 1 inch for the 3 other sides. Let's proceed to the table components. Visit the site below for further information. Table 1 components include number. Use boldface for table number. Center column headings. Shown is all about the headings. The next component of the table is body. This includes the rows and the columns of the table. As shown, it is also including the headings. Table body has numerous spacing given, and the alignment varies according to these rules. Do so to improve readability. So consider readability and the alignment of your body contents or the contents of the table body. Next is table title. It is one double-spaced line below the number. Capitalize the table title in italic title case. These are examples of tables. Observe the bold font for the table numbers, as well as italic title case table title. Notes are provided as needed, like definitions of abbreviations, copyright attribution of the explanation for p-values. This is the note format. Sample of note below the table. Next, we have figures. Commonly, we have figures such as line graphs, bar graphs, and etc. These are the components of the figure. Visit the link to the site for clarification. Figure number should be above the figure title in bold. Figure title is in italic title case. Next is the image. Use sans serifs using the given sizes, 8 and 14 points. This will be used for the image in the table, the figure. Sans serifs fonts include the 11-point Arial, which is usually used in our proposal, and it is an example of sans serifs fonts. Now we have the legend. This is the guideline for the legend. Next, the note. Consider these guidelines in including the notes below the figure. This is an example of a figure. This is another one. The convergent mixed method design. Let's proceed to the quotations. These are the two types of quotations, the short and the block quotation. Short quotation should be done using these guidelines. Take note, short quotation is fewer than 40 words. Sample of short quotation. The two types of citation include the short quotations. They are the parenthetical or narrative. These are the two types of citation. Once again, they are narrative, and parenthetical. This is narrative citation. It includes the author and the year and the sentence, and then place the page number or other location information in the parentheses after the quotation. This is an example of a narrative citation. Ways of placing parenthetical citation. This is the sample of parenthetical citation. For the block quotation, consider these guidelines. Do not use quotation marks to enclose a block quotation. Indent the whole block 0.5 inch from the left margin. Consider double space entry without extra spaces before and after it. Additional guidelines for subsequent paragraphs of block quotations. Do not add a period after the closing parenthesis in either case. Example of parenthetical citation in block quotation. This is an example of narrative citation. And now let us focus on referencing. APA referencing style shall be considered. The 7th edition should be preferred. Section labels for references should be centered and bold, and it should apply hanging indent of 0.5 inch. Example of section label is presented. References above. Centered, boldface, first letter is in uppercase and always starts on a new page. Consider this in your reference list. Single-spaced entry. Only the first letter of the article title is capitalized. The rest are small letters. Proper nouns in the article title is also capitalized. Just like in this example, we have Hong Kong and Chinese. For article title with colon, the first letter following the colon is capitalized, just like letter A here. Name of journal, upper and lower cases, is italicized. Hanging indent is applied here. This is how you're going to format in hanging indent. Just a simple step. Volume number is italicized, just like here, 7. Issue number enclosed in parentheses, not italicized. Page range 69 to 83. This also includes your URL. Take note, plus left, and this is not justified. For sources with no date of publication, just do this. N period D period. Spacing is double in between the heading and the first entry. Spacing between entries is double. Next, we have the simple steps of removing the hyperlinks. This is just a tip. Remove hyperlinks. This links and blue line. Next, we have the removing and adding of extra spaces. You're going to highlight the end and the first part of the last or the previous and this next paragraph, and then you are going to add space. Lastly, we have the appendices. Labels and titles should be centered and bold as shown. Here is an example. The last topic that we have is about validation and reliability. Okay, firstly, let's focus on instruments. It includes survey, test, questionnaires, and the like. These are the two types of instruments. Types of researcher-completed instruments and self-completed instruments. Now let's refresh ourselves with the definition of validity and validation. And also with reliability. Reliability is consistency. These are reliability estimators. We have 4. Shown is the number 1. Next, S3 test reliability number 2. We are usually using the 4th. And this is internal consistency reliability, wherein the consistency of results cross items often measured with Cronbach's alpha. These are the 8-step process of developing an instrument. Step number 1. This is a guide for or in the preparation of the TOS. The first thing that you're going to do is to unpack the learning objectives or the competency into specific learning objectives from remembering to creating, which is the Bloom's taxonomy, and also indicate or determine the number of items and the number of minutes spent for the particular topic. And based on the percentage given, you are going to determine the number of items based on these percentages below its level of cognitive process dimensions from remembering, which is the lowest level, to creating as the highest level. As shown, we have three levels: level 1, level 2, and level 3. Okay, this is the place where you are going to see the equivalent number of items. See to it that if you have 50 items indicated in the red cell, make sure that the number of items provided is also the same in the green cell. As shown, the last column is for the item placement. For example, for number 1, you have 4. You have to place the 4 items, and the items should be from 1 to 50 or in between 1 and 50. So this is your TOS, or Table of Specifications. Next is a sample of the test constructed for the results of the process of text construction. As shown, we have the validation process, and these are the documents needed. We have a new guideline, or template for this. But basically, this includes the letter to the validator, and also the certificate of validation, and also the research questions, as well as other documents. This is a phase and content validation tool for learning resource, just in case you need a learning resource for the, or as a supplementary learning material for your intervention, and it needs to be validated. You can use this form. This form came from LRMDS. This is a sample of the certificate of validation and reliability testing of instruments. Our new template is available. Next, we have editing. This is the editing process. Number 5, our pilot testing. The suggested number of learners in the pilot testing is 20. At least 20. We can have a lot more, but it should be at least 20 persons or learners in our case. This is an example of an item analysis form. In doing such, bear in mind that in this highlighted part as shown, you have to type 1 for correct answer and 0 for wrong answers. Below, being highlighted, are the indicator of the mastery level of learners. The least mastered skill refers to this red cell or cells in red. The MPS is highlighted. Number 7, we have reliability testing. Point 7 is acceptable. And this is a guide to this process using SPSS version 22. The Cronbach's Alpha. Okay, these are the parts that you're going to tick. Now click OK. Your results are here and it is acceptable. Number 8, the final stage, we have finalization of your test for its purpose. So that's all for now. Thank you for bearing with me. I hope you will find this helpful. The link to this video guides and rules will be shared to you later. God bless you.